Out of everything that has been processed with that fingerprint treatment, was it just these two individual items here?
There were other items that were processed, but in this packaging, just these two items.
Okay. And were any fingerprints gained through that process for these items?
Yes.
Okay. Could you kind of point out to me where they are?
So it's going to be one here, this Wells Fargo.
Okay. Your Honor, may I publish on the Elmo?
Yes.
Back as well. So showing you first this item that was taken out of States 90. It appears to be, well, what do you think? How would you describe it? What is it?
The fingerprint?
No, just the item itself.
A bank envelope.
Okay. And is there a fingerprint that was detected on this banking envelope?
There was what appeared to be a partial print, possibly a fingerprint near the Wells Fargo stamp in the corner.
Okay. There should be a laser pointer up by you. Could you use that to indicate where on the banking envelope that fingerprint is? Go ahead, zoom in on that area. For the record, she indicated to the upper right corner of the banking envelope near the Wells Fargo logo. And just zoom in, move it over. Kind of get a better look at that fingerprint. Was that sent anywhere?
Yes, it was sent to Galveston Police Department.
And what came with that, the investigation of that?
It was submitted to APHIS with no results.
APHIS didn't have any results?
No.
Showing you the second item that you identified out of States 90. Here. Does there appear to be a fingerprint on this item?
There was one near this area. Not sure if it's visible.
Okay. And for the record, she's indicating towards the top of this sort of loose piece of paper. I'll zoom in so you can get a better look. Is that what you're referring to? And was that print sent off?
Yes, it was sent to APHIS as well.
Did anything come out of that fingerprint?
No.
For the record, resuming the video, AMC 0130 at the 19-second mark. So, Investigator Chaviers, these are the items that we had just discussed.
Yes.
In fact, we even see the Wells Fargo logo on the banking envelope.
Yes.
On this shot. And what are we zooming in on here at this point in the video?
Like to be money.
As we kind of go over the couch, if you can explain to the jury when it comes into view what we see here.
Appears to be a rifle.
And does there also appear to be a baggie underneath that rifle?
Yes.
What does that appear to be to you?
I believe it was marijuana.
As we kind of zoom into behind the side of the couch here, do we see another dollar bill, $20 bill?
Yes.
And is that piece of paper, is that from the house, or is that something that the sheriff's office brought?
I believe that's the search warrant.
So as we move to the back part of the living room, what room are we entering into through this doorway?
The dining room.
And from this angle specifically, we kind of see two doorways. For the record, the video ended for AMC 0130. We will now move on to AMC 0131. We see those two bedrooms there on either side of the cabinet.
Yes.
Where are we heading to now?
The kitchen.
On the counter to the right, I know we're panning away from it, but there appear to be any sort of restaurant food containers.
There appeared to be a Taco Bell package.
And we see it coming back into frame here. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then as we pan around, it kind of gives you that that other angle of the kitchen. You can see the dishwasher, the sink, and everything else. Mm-hmm. Was there anything of investigative note discovered in the kitchen that you're aware
Not
of?
to my knowledge.
Now we see this curtain here. What is that curtain? What's the purpose of that curtain?
That curtain is going to divide the kitchen from what appeared to be a storage room or laundry room.
And here we're getting that first look into that storage room.
Yes.
And as we go into this storage room, sort of in the upper right corner, we can see that, as it pans away. Well, okay. For the record, AMC 0131 has ended, so we will begin AMC 0132. As we pan back, we see that sort of diamond there. What is that?
That's an exterior door. It's the door that led to the exterior of the residence.
Okay. And does there appear to be anything blocking that door?
Yes.
What is that?
It looks like a dryer.
Okay. And can you use the laser pointer just to make sure the jury is aware of what we're looking at? And does there appear to be like other, just I guess, clutter also
Yes.
there as well? Did that position of that dryer appear to be where it normally would be in the house?
The dryer appears to be pushed out to me. It isn't flush with the wall.
As we come back in, we see that, so the window being broken to that door.
Yes.
Are you aware of how that door, that window in the door was broken?
I am not.
And so from here, where do you go during the recording process?
I believe after the storage room, I go to a hallway located on the south side of the residence.
And so as we progress back through the kitchen, we see that doorway that leads back to the living room.
Yes.
And through this doorway here, to the left, we see a door going to a room of some kind. Is that fair?
Yes.
We also see evidence marker number 5. What is that that we're looking at?
Madison.
We get a pretty good look at the side view there. Does that magazine appear to be full with bullets, or is there room for more?
There appears to be room for more.
For the record, AMC 0132 is ended. We will begin AMC 0133. Investigator Chambers, how would you describe this room?
Looks to be like there are several items strewn about the room. Appears to be in disarray.
We saw you zoom in a little bit on that bed there. What was the purpose of that?
I was zooming in on the paperwork that was on the bed.
And here, as we pan over to the desk, does there also appear to be some more Taco Bell packaging?
Yes.
And what are specifically at the bottom of the screen? Here we see a shot of the desk. What are we seeing here that's of importance?
There are pill bottles and then water bottles that appear to have a yellow fluid in them.
And so here, I have a laser pointer myself here. At the center of the screen, is that one of those same bottles?
Yes.
And then over here in this corner, are those more of those same bottles with the orangish yellowish liquid?
I don't know if it's the same liquid, but it appears to be bottles with the same color liquid.
And there appear to be blankets and pillows and things underneath the desk?
Yes.
For the record, AMC 133 has concluded, so we will begin AMC 0134.
You see the attorneys in their files.
to AMC 0138.
Okay.
Now, Investigator Shavers, as you document the house, do you end up going into Tammy King's bedroom?
Yes.
And is Tammy King's body still in the bedroom when you document it?
Yes.
Is that captured in these videos?
Yes.
Skipping ahead to the 3-minute and 16-second mark. And some of those other videos, investigator, was that sort of just we saw more of the bedroom, the hallway, and some more storage areas?
Yes. There was another room with storage in the bathroom, I believe.
Was there anything of importance in those other rooms that we skipped over?
No.
And before we go into the bedroom, we look into one more closet. Was there anything of note in this closet?
No.
Using the laser pointer, can you kind of direct us to where the bed is in here? And so we see sort of this pile of clothing. Where is Miss King in this room?
The decedent is under the sheets located on the bed.
And do you all ultimately remove those sheets as part of this?
Yes.
What happens with those sheets? Can you explain that to the jury?
They are submitted as evidence.
And when collecting the sheets, is there a special way in which you do so to try to retain any evidence that's different than how someone else would fold up a sheet?
Yes, so we fold it into itself inward.
And we're zooming in on evidence marker 6 here. What's that?
A bullet.
Does it appear to have been fired?
No, sir.
And by evidence marker 10, do we see Miss King's hand?
Yes, sir.
And as we sort of pan back behind this pile of clothing, do we see the rear side of her body?
Yes.
For the record, we'll pause the video at the 7-minute and 3-second mark. Investigator Traveers, do the rest of these videos depict you removing the sheets from the body and therefore exposing the deceased?
Yes.
And would it be fair to say that those videos are a little bit more graphic than the ones that we've seen up to this point?
Yes.
In regards to the fingerprint processing and the videoing of the scene, did you do anything else in this case?
I did, yes.
What was that?
I collected buckle swabs
From who?
from Uriah Urick and Tammy King.
And do you recognize Uriah Urick today? In the courtroom today? Can you please identify him by pointing to him and stating an article of clothing that he's wearing?
He's wearing a blue and white striped shirt.
Now, may the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
The record will so reflect.
May I proceed?
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Will you please state and spell your name for the record?
I'm Rigoberto Grosqueta. Do you need that spelled?
I would love that spelled, please.
RIGOBERTOGURRUSQUIETA.
And because I don't have as good a pronunciation of you as you, is it all right if I call you Rigo? Okay. So, Rigo, how old are you?
I am 20 years old.
20 years old. And if I asked you to give this jury a 2-sentence introduction of yourself, what would you tell them?
I'm just a college student that's making it by.
Making it by. What do you do for work, or do you work?
I work at a coding center. I teach kids how to code computer science.
And what are you studying at school?
Process technology.
How much longer do you have in your program?
1 more year.
And Rigo, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Dickinson.
And does that mean you also went to Dickinson High School?
Yes.
What year was it that you graduated?
2024.
And when you were in high school, did you ever know somebody by the name of Tammy King or Uriah Urick?
Yes, but they went by nicknames.
They went by nicknames. Can you tell me what those nicknames were?
Tara went by Aaron, and Uriah went by Percy.
Okay. Let's start with Tara, or with Aaron. How long did you know her for?
I've known her for maybe since the start of high school, some freshman year, but I've never really been friends with her.
Okay.
Just knew of her.
Okay. And what about Percy? How long had you known him?
I didn't know him until the whole case started.
Okay.
I didn't know they were dating.
Okay. So you really didn't know much about them, but you knew who Tara was. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. So, do you also know somebody by the name of Nathan Anderson?
Yes.
How do you know Nathan Anderson?
He is one of my close friends since 7th grade.
So, a good long amount of time. Is that right? I want to bring your attention to February 5th of 2025. Do you recall that day?
Yes.
Okay. So, tell me what you were doing that day.
I just woke up from like a long nap in the morning, and I get a call from Nathan.
Okay. And make sure you don't tell me what anyone said on the phone call to you. But when you talked to Nathan, how did he sound?
He sounded a little distressed.
Okay. And after your phone call with Nathan, what were you going to do?
Go drive Uriah and Tara to Nathan's house.
Okay. And did you have a way to get in contact with Uriah or Tara?
No. The only way we got in contact was from Nathan giving them my number.
Okay. And Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm approaching you with what's been temporarily marked as State's Exhibit 16. Without telling me what it is, will you let me know if you recognize this?
Yes.
How do you recognize it?
That's my screenshot.
It's your screenshot? So this is something you created?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And is it a true and accurate depiction? What I mean by that is it hasn't been changed in any way?
No.
Okay. Your Honor, statement is to admit State 16. Have you tendered it to opposing counsel for a judgment?
Objection.
State 16 will be admitted.
And may I publish it?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, here we go. I am showing you what's been marked as states 16. And you stated this was a screenshot. What is this a screenshot of?
The call that Nathan gave me.
And is that the call you were just telling us about?
Yes.
And can you tell us on what date and time that call was?
That was at 12:24 p.m. on February 5th.
And that's of this year, correct? So you said that Nathan gave Uriah and Tara your number, correct?
Yes.
And did you make contact with Tara or Uriah?
I made contact with Uriah.
Okay. How did you make contact with him?
He called my phone first.
Okay. And when he called your phone, was it a number you had saved?
No.
Okay. Did you answer that phone?
Yes.
Can you tell me what you and Uriah talked about in that phone call? And you can tell me what he said.
Okay. So he called me first. He asked if I was Rigo, and I said yes. He said that he needed a ride to Nathan's house. And I was like, I just said, okay, yeah, I can give you that ride. And he also asked if I can stay on the phone the whole time.
When he asked if you could stay on the phone that whole time, was that normal to you, odd to you? What did you think?
It was pretty odd to me.
Okay. And while he's talking to you, how does he sound?
He sounded a little distressed, but it seems like he tried to be calm through most of it.
Okay. And so he asked you to stay on the phone the whole time. What happens next?
I get in my car, and I started driving to the address that he gave me.
Okay. And do you recall what that address was?
Not really. I think it was somewhere on 15th Street
Okay. In what city?
in what's it called? San Leon.
Or San
Or
Leon?
Baycliff.
Baycliff. Okay. And do you know what county and state that's in?
Galveston County.
And it sounds silly, but what state?
Texas.
Okay. Uriah, may I approach you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Reader, I'm approaching you with what's been temporarily marked as State Exhibit 21 and 22. Same thing. Without telling you what they are, if you would please look at them and let me know if you recognize both of these documents.
I do.
Do you recognize them?
Yes.
Okay. How do you recognize them?
There were screenshots I made.
So these are also documents that you created. Have they been changed in any way?
No.
Your Honor, statements to admit states 21 and 22, having tendered to opposing counsel.
Okay.
Those will be admitted.
And may I publish?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, Rigo, let's start with states 21. Will you let the jury know what we're looking at here?
This is the call from Uriah. That happened on February 5th, 12:28 p.m.
So this sounds like roughly 5 minutes after your call with Nathan?
Yes.
And how long was this phone call?
18 minutes.
And in states 22, while you're on that phone call, what is this?
This is him texting me the address.
And just confirming that same phone number is what we see in states 21, correct?
Yes.
Do you stay on the phone with Uriah your entire drive to their house?
Yes, I stayed on the phone the whole time.
Okay. And while you're on the phone with Uriah, is he saying anything to you?
He tells me when I arrived there, back into the house with the tan tarp, or tan curtains.
Okay.
And
Go ahead.
that's pretty much it.
Okay. Does he tell you at this point, does he tell you any reason why they need the ride?
Oh yeah, they said that they were trying to get away from their crazy grandma, that she was controlling and just crazy overall.
Okay. And once you arrived at the house, tell me what you did.
I backed up into the driveway, like they told me, and when I backed up into the driveway, they quickly got out of the tan curtains and told me to open the trunk. And I opened the trunk, and that's when they put their bags inside the car.
So I'm going to back up a little bit. What kind of car did you drive at that point?
Nissan Altima 2014,
What color?
black.
Your Honor, may I publish States 15?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Rigo, we're going to press play on States 15 at 42 minutes and 37 seconds. Will you please tell us when or if you see your vehicle?
There's no vehicle.
And on what part of the screen is your vehicle?
On the right side.
Okay. And what are you doing in the video?
I'm backing up into the driveway.
Okay. And, Your Honor, may I approach with a laser pointer?
Yes.
All right, Rigo, I'm going to hand you a laser pointer. Make sure you don't shoot a recorder in the eye. It's going to be this button. Use that button, and then can you show us first where your vehicle is? Okay. And you said that you were told to back into the driveway with the brown tarp, correct?
Yes.
And can you use that laser pointer and show us what, if you can see that tarp in the video?
Right there.
Okay. And could you tell what was behind that brown tarp or what it was?
I couldn't really tell what was behind it, other than it was really dark, and that's where they came out of.
Okay. And when you say they, who came out of the brown tarp?
Both Uriah and Aaron.
Okay.
Or, yeah, Tara.
And just so we're all clear, Aaron and Tara are the same person,
Yeah.
and Percy and Uriah are the same person.
Mhm.
Okay. So, the person that you know as Uriah or Percy, do you see him in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Could you please tell me where he's seated and an item of clothing he's wearing?
He's seated right there with a blue collar.
Okay, so blue collar, and when you said right there, are you pointing to your left?
Yes.
Your Honor, may the record reflect this witness has identified the defendant.
So reflect.
Thank you, Your Honor. So you stated that you popped open your trunk and they put their bags in, is that correct?
Yes.
Can you tell me what you observed about their bags or what they had?
It looked like it was in like a gun bag.
Okay, and what do you mean by a gun bag?
It was shaped like in a gun shape.
Okay. And what happened, what, if anything, happened next?
They got into my car and told me to go drive.
Where were you driving to?
Driving to Nathan's house.
When they first got in the car, did you observe anything about them or their demeanor, or how were they acting?
They seemed very rushed, and that they were just trying to get away. They seemed very very flustered, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. And when they got in your car, where did everyone sit?
Uriah was in the passenger seat, and Tara was in the back.
And did Tara have anything with her?
Her dog.
Okay. Do you remember what color the dog was?
Yeah, black.
Okay. And all of their bags were in the trunk, or were some with them?
I'm pretty sure all their bags were in the trunk.
Okay. So once they're in your car and y'all are driving to Nathan's, is Uriah talking to you?
Yes.
Can you tell me what y'all are talking about?
He was telling me how they were just trying to get away, and then I asked if they were friends of Nathan's, and they said yeah. And that's basically around the time after that little conversation, I get a call from Nathan, or I call Nathan myself.
Okay. And after you call Nathan, what kind of happens next?
I asked if it's okay to drop them off at his place. There was no way I could.
And when you say his place, we're still talking about going to Nathan's house?
Yes.
Okay. So you said there's no way y'all could go to Nathan's, correct?
Yes.
What happens next?
I just started driving down. Up until the freeway, and I go north towards the Houston area. But that's around the time when Uriah and Tara are trying to find a place to stay.
Okay, and what are you hearing from Uriah?
Uriah was pretty mad, but Tara was texting people around, trying to see who can give him a place to stay.
Okay, and while Tara's doing that, do you and Uriah talk anymore, or does he make any phone calls, or what happens next?
He makes a few phone calls. He is talking to me about if I smoke or not. I don't. And then he does call one person, and they do allow him like a place to stay.
Okay. And while Uriah's making these phone calls, is he doing anything? Does he have anything in his hands, or what's kind of he doing?
He doesn't have really anything in his hands. Up until there was another call that was made from someone else, and I think they were asked. It was something about money.
Okay.
But that's when he pulls out a big stack of cash.
Okay. And when you say a big stack of cash, can you kind of explain what you mean? What could you see?
Just he pulls out like a bag, and it's just this big, just like on his lap, and he just had a stack of cash and talking to someone on the phone.
What was he saying to the person on the phone?
I think something about paying him back.
Okay. Was he saying anything about the money?
No.
Okay. And did you have any idea where the money came from?
No, I have no idea.
Okay. You said that one of the phone calls, they ultimately found someone that they could go to, correct?
Yes.
And where was it that they could go to?
I'm not sure of the person, but they settled on the person's workplace.
Okay. Do you recall where that was?
It was in Pearland, right in front of the Pearland High School, like Energy Metals Inc.
Your Honor, may I approach you?
Yes.
Rico, I'm approaching you with what's been marked as States 23. Same question. Go ahead and take a look at it. Don't tell me what it is, but let me know if you recognize it. And how do you recognize it?
It's from my phone.
Is it another screenshot you made?
Yes.
Has it been changed or altered in any way?
No.
Your Honor, State moves to admit States Exhibit 23, having tendered to opposing counsel.
Objection.
23 will be admitted.
And may I publish?
Yes, please.
All right, Rico, this is States 23. Is that your name we see at the top?
Yes.
Okay. And then can you tell us kind of what we're looking at? What is this a screenshot of?
These are the directions to Energy Metals.
And is that, sorry, go ahead.
And also, if you see down there, it's the 15th Street.
Is that this part right here?
Yes.
Okay.
That's their location.
Okay. So this is, what application is this from?
From Apple Maps.
So is this your driving that day of February 5th?
Yes.
Ultimately, do you drive them to Energy Metals?
Yes, I do.
And when you drive them to Energy Metals, where do you take them?
I take them to the parking lot. We drive around there because we drive around the parking lot because Uriah told me that there was a car I needed to look out for.
Do you recall what that car was?
Yeah, it was a white Jeep with blue handles.
And did you know who the white Jeep belonged to?
No, not at all.
Okay. Did you have any idea who they were meeting?
No.
Once you got them there, did they get out of the car?
Yes.
What all did they take with them when they got out of your car?
All the bags from my trunk.
And did you have any idea, I know you described gun bags, but did you have any idea what was in the bags?
No, not at all. They just told me that there was like their belongings.
Their belongings. Did they ever tell you that they had guns in the car?
No.
Okay. Once they got out of the car, what did you do?
Once I got out of the car, just sat there for a little bit while they got all their stuff situated. And once they took the bags out of my car, closed the car, they went to go to the guy that they were meeting, and I drove away.
Okay. And was that the last time that you heard from them?
From them, yes.
And did you ever receive any messages from them?
Oh wait, no, I did. I got a call from Tara.
And when she called you, how did she call you?
She called me on Instagram.
Okay. And so is it fair to say you have an Instagram?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
All right, we go. Same set of questions. I'm going to hand you what's been marked as states 18, 19, and 20. Will you please look at these documents and let me know if you recognize them? And how do you recognize them?
They're from my phone.
Are they more screenshots you've created? Have they been changed or altered in any way?
No.
Okay. Other than the sticker that's on there?
Yeah.
Okay. Your Honor, statement is to admit states 18 through 20 having tendered to opposing counsel.
No objection.
Those will be admitted.
All right, we go. Start with states 18. What is that name at the top?
That's Aaron.
And what is the name under Aaron?
South Park emo.
And imagine none of us know how Instagram works. Can you tell us what those two names are or what they mean?
They're just her nickname and her username for the app.
So on the app you have both a nickname and a username?
Yes.
Which one would be which?
The nickname is the top one and the username is the bottom one.
So Tara's username would be South Park Emo and her nickname would be Aaron with a star.
Yes.
Okay. Now on this screenshot, what side would be you and what side would be Tara?
I'm the pink side.
The pink side where it says,
Right.
yeah, thank you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she would be the left side.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us, so after the you're welcome, what time are the next messages you get from her?
4:26 a.m.
And so what day is that?
I think February 6th.
So the day after you
The
drop
day
them off?
after, yes.
Okay. And can you go ahead and read us those talking messages?
It's just, yeah, thank you, and you're welcome.
Sorry, I apologize. Those two messages after 4:20.
It's Rio, it's Aaron, $1,000 to drive us to Illinois.
And then what do we see after that?
A bunch of missed calls.
And it states 19. What's happening here?
More missed calls with a few texts and just more missed calls.
After those, so at this point on Thursday, do you have any idea of what's going on other than what they told you?
No, not at all.
Does a time come where that changes?
Yeah, on Friday.
Okay. What happens on Friday?
I get a text from my friend, and they send me a screenshot that these two kids are like missing, and there was a deceased woman inside the house.
Okay.
And that they were saying that.
Was that where was that post made?
I think on Facebook.
And once you saw that, what did you do?
Immediately called the authorities.
Okay. Did you send that screenshot to Aaron as well?
No. This screenshot is actually from one of my friends.
Okay. So this got sent to Tara. This message is sent to Tara.
Yes.
Okay. And so, and is this the Facebook post that you saw?
Yes.
Okay. You said you then immediately went to the authorities, correct? Why did you go to the authorities?
Because I did not know that they killed her grandma.
Or at least you didn't know that they were involved? Okay. Now, one more thing to show you, Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, here we go. I'm showing you what's been marked as State 17. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
How do you recognize it?
It's from my phone.
Is it another screenshot?
Yes.
And is it a true and accurate depiction? It hasn't been changed?
No, not at all.
Your Honor, move to admit State 17, having tendered to opposing counsel.
No objection.
Very much. I just say 17 will be admitted.
And may I publish?
Yes, please.
In State 17, Rigo, what are we looking at?
This was $20 from Nathan on Wednesday because he also said that.
Make sure you don't tell me what Nathan
okay.
said.
Yeah.
Why did Nathan send you $20?
He sent me $20 for gas money
Okay. Why was he giving you money for gas money?
to drive them.
And that was also on Wednesday?
Yes.
So once you saw that Facebook post and you alerted the authorities, did you tell the police everything that you had told the jury here today?
Yes.
And did you give the police all these screenshots that we've shown the jury today?
Yes.
After you contacted the authorities, did you have any more communication with Uriah or Tara?
No, not at all.
I'll pass this witness, Your Honor.
Thank you. Sir, my name is Bill Agnew, and I represent Uriah, who's sitting here to my right. You say you didn't really know either Tara or Uriah very well?
No, not at all.
So no ideas like their family background, anything like that?
No.
Okay. I'll pass witness.
Nothing further from this witness,
Thank
Your
you,
Honor.
sir. You may step down. Call your next witness.
The state would call, I apologize, the state would call Detective Hillary Rodriguez. Mr. Evans. So I'm going to start with state 65, just so you can tell me what date and time that says there at the bottom?
Tuesday at 9:33 p.m.
Okay. And so the messages before that, would that have also been on Tuesday?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm going to go backwards and go to our first set. So were these also Tuesday evening?
Yes, ma'am. That's the night that I left.
Okay. And we see here in these messages that y'all are both using kind of some emojis and stuff, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that normal for how y'all talked?
Yes, ma'am.
And so this is Tuesday in state 64 and 65. And can you tell us, what are y'all talking about?
We were talking about the Taco Bell that had been delivered.
And we see it continues in state 66 and 67. Can you tell us what that timestamp is on this last message?
Tuesday at 11:16 p.m.
And is this Tammy just telling you good night?
Yes, ma'am.
So can you tell me what that time and date stamp is on this, the middle of this message?
Wednesday at 9:26 in the morning.
Okay. And is that the normal time that Tammy wakes up, or earlier or later?
No, she would wake up earlier sometimes. Sometimes she'd sleep a little bit later. Just depending on how late that me and her had stayed up texting.
Okay. So she didn't have a set wake up time, is that fair?
No, ma'am. Pretty well. No, not really.
Okay. And so, at 9:26 this morning, what are y'all talking about?
I believe that's whenever they were arguing about maybe going to school, and I said something about coming over and spanking both of them.
Okay. And what's kind of the last message that you get from Tammy that morning?
That everything was okay.
Can you read that last message for me?
The last one,
Yes, sir. The last one's from Tammy.
it says, I'm laying in bed, Tara won't get her clothes finished.
So, at about 9:30 Wednesday morning, you know that Tammy's laying in bed, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, was there anything unusual about you and Tammy's communications on that Wednesday?
was done and everything was pretty well normal that I knew.
Okay. Did y'all talk as much as y'all normally do on Wednesday? I show you state 70. Does that refresh your memory?
Oh, yes, ma'am, because she hadn't texted back. She
Was
was
that
talking about sleeping late, yes.
so? Is that unusual for Tammy to not text you back?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so, can you read us that timestamp at the top of this state 70?
That was Wednesday at 6:16 p.m.
Okay. And compared to those earlier messages that we saw, is Tammy's messages being as filled with emojis or loving commentary as they were earlier?
No, ma'am. I mean, they're pretty well normal, but, I mean, it wasn't, I would say, yeah, it's pretty well normal, but we just didn't put in emojis and stuff, because I guess she was a little upset.
Okay. So that's how you took it, was she was just upset?
Yes, ma'am.
And so this is state 71. Y'all are kind of continuing to talk that Wednesday night, correct?
Yes, ma'am. So night I was going home and it was really foggy.
Yes, sir. And then in states 72, which is a continuation of that last picture, does Tammy ever answer you again?
No, ma'am.
And what is that timestamp in the middle before well good night?
Thursday at 8:58.
The one right above.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was Wednesday at 10:38 p.m.
Was it normal for Tammy to just never reply like this?
No, ma'am.
Was it normal for her to not tell you good night?
No, ma'am.
And then we don't see any messages until you said 8:58 p.m. on Thursday. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So did you hear from Tammy at all on Thursday?
No, ma'am.
So we noticed that the messages are a different color at the bottom of state 72 than they are at the top. Why is that? Can you explain that to the jury?
The only thing I can figure out is it was undelivered or her phone was off or something. I don't know why they're different.
Okay. So they're not going through correctly?
I don't believe so, ma'am.
And can you read those last two messages you sent Tammy to me?
I asked her, did I do something wrong? I said, for some reason it's not going through. So I switched to this. And then I was teasing. I said, did you block me? That might be the reason why they changed. I don't know. On the color.
And did you ever get an answer from Tammy to those messages?
No, ma'am.
So these messages got us up to about 9 o'clock on Thursday night, which would have been February 6th, 2025. What is going through your head at that point?
I did not, that something was wrong.
And when you started being concerned that something was wrong, what did you do?
I went over to the house and the vehicle was still there in the driveway. I went around, I knocked on the door first, and still no answer. Tammy didn't answer the door and Tara did not answer the door. Then I started getting really worried and I went around and I knocked on the windows, I knocked on her bedroom door, it's a sliding glass door. I knocked on it. Well, really I didn't knock on it, I kind of beat it on it. And I went and did the same thing in Tara's room. And then there was no answer. And I went back out. I walked across the street. I knocked on the neighbor's door. They was already in bed and did not see me or hear me. And I think the daughter heard me. But I had already went back across the street. I beat on the door again, on the windows, and then I called first, or if I called the Galveston County and told them I need them here because I was fixing to break into this house because I knew something was wrong.
Okay. And just so we all are still following around, Christopher is Tammy's son, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And that is Tara's dad, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And why was it that you called Christopher that night?
Well, I mean, he needed to know something was going on too. This is his mom and his daughter, so.
And when you called Galveston County Sheriff's Office, why was it that you were calling them?
Because I wanted them there because I was fixing to break into the house, and I did not want them to come rolling up and all of a sudden I'm getting thrown down and arrested, for breaking and entering, but I was concerned,
So is it fair to say you were just informing the Sheriff's Office that you were about to break in?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And after you called the Sheriff's Office, did they arrive?
Yes, ma'am, they did.
Okay. Once they arrived, can you walk us through kind of what did you do? What parts of the house did you go to?
We took him, they was walking around, they were shining the lights in the windows, and then they turned around and looked at me and they said, well, they're moving. I said, no, they're not moving. I was just here, they're not moving. And I asked them, I said, can I look? And when I looked in, I seen stuff that was thrown up against the master bath because the bathroom door was open. There was a little foam mattress that it was up against it. And I knew all that stuff was not there.
So you said you could see this from the master bathroom window?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you said it was a foam mattress that was up against it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What other parts of the house did you look in or try to open?
I tried to, I'd already put my shoulder into the front door, but that oak door I know was not going to move because I helped install it.
So since you installed it, that helps too, how does that front door lock or unlock?
It has a regular deadbolt on it, and it's kind of reinforced a little bit.
And does it lock from
It locks from the inside and has a key access to the outside.
Okay. And so, was it locked when you tried to open that front door?
Yes, ma'am, it was locked.
Okay. And so, it could have been locked from either inside or outside, is that fair?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you know who all had keys to that front door?
Well, Tammy and Tara, and then there was a third key, but it had been missing.
Other than the front door, were there any other doors that you tried?
Yes, ma'am. I went around to the back door, the sheriff that followed me then, and we tried to get it open because I broke out the little window that was in that door and reached in, but the washing machine had been turned over. It was blocking the back door. It could not be budged because it was up against the dryer too.
And is that typically how that room is?
No, ma'am.
Is that door a door that can typically be opened and gone through?
Yes, ma'am. It leads out to the backyard, to the little back patio area.
So after you tried that back door and it was blocked by the washer dryer, where did you go next?
I went back to the master bath and I broke out the window. And at that time, the sheriff department, they had my phone and was talking to Chris. And as soon as I broke out the window, being an old firefighter, I knew what was going on. I turned around and looked at them. I said, y'all need to meet me at the front door.
And when you say being an old firefighter and you knew what was going on, what was it that told you what was going on?
The smell that I smelled.
Okay. And is it fair to say that in your previous profession, you had smelled that smell before?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what did that smell mean to you?
Somebody was dead.
Did you go inside that bathroom?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Can you tell me what you saw as soon as you got into the bathroom?
I made my way through the stuff that's not normally thrown in front of the doorway there. And since they had my phone and I didn't have a light, one of the sheriffs handed me their flashlight, and as soon as I pushed the little mattress back enough, I could look over and I seen that the safe had been opened.
And when you say the safe, what kind of safe was that?
It was like a regular, it's a regular safe, but it was big enough to hold rifles and personal items and stuff.
So a pretty large safe?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you said it was open?
Yes, ma'am.
And did everything look like it was in its place or out of place?
No, ma'am, it was empty.
And after you saw the safe, what did you see next?
I turned towards where Tammy's bed and everything was, and I seen her laying there like if she was sound asleep.
And I know when we talk about how a bed normally is, we have like a headboard and a footboard, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
How did Tammy typically sleep on her bed?
She slept across the bed instead of towards the headboard and the footboard, because down at the end of the footboard she had like her telephone, the lamp, the charger and stuff was all sitting there on it's like kind of like a long, you would see a long table that's behind the sofa.
So she slept with like the footboard to her left and the headboard to her right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so you said you looked towards the bed, and what position was Tammy in?
She was laying on her back, like she would normally be sleeping. And I just went ahead and started making my way through because I knew, as I looked over, I shined the light back over there, and there was a bunch of blankets that was thrown on top of her top section. And whenever I made it to the door, the bedroom door was locked. The only way that you can lock that door is from the inside. So I figured it was locked and the door was closed behind.
And so you mean it was locked from inside and then pulled shut behind somebody?
Yes, ma'am.
Did Tammy typically keep her door locked?
No, ma'am.
And you said there was a lot of sheets and blankets and things on her top half. Did she normally sleep with that many sheets and blankets?
No, ma'am.
Once you realized that door was locked, did you notice anything else in the room?
No, ma'am. At that time, I was headed for the front door because as I was, right after I broke the window, I tried to tell the sheriff's department, you need to meet me at the front door. Because like I said, from previous, I knew something had happened. I did not even stop at Tara's room because I was afraid that she was going to be there too.
And when you came through Tammy's door, did you see any signs of Tara or Percy?
No, ma'am.
And you said you didn't check in Tara's room because you were concerned she might be in there as well.
Yes, ma'am, and I know that I did not want to disturb anything because, like I said, I already knew. And I wanted them to get in there to take over the scene and everything. I did not want to disturb nothing else.
And so, did you ultimately get out the front door?
Yes, ma'am. I went to the front door, I undid the deadbolt, opened it up, pushed the screen door open. I walked out. I handed the sheriff department back their flashlight, told them it was their scene, and I sat down on one of the chairs that I usually sit in on the front porch.
And after that, what did you do?
just sat there for a while, and then they took over, and I was asked to move outside of the crime scene tape and everything. I said, that's not a problem, and I went across the street to the neighbors, and I sat over there.
And after that, did you cooperate fully with the police and allow them to do their job?
Yes, ma'am, I certainly did. I asked them, I said, what about Tara? And they did take and tell me that
Don't tell me what anybody else said. But you checked on Tara?
they had checked on Tara.
Okay. And did you know if Tara was still in the house?
Not until they told me.
Okay. After that, did you ever hear from Tara or Percy?
No, ma'am. I texted Tara's phone, and I don't think I ever I never get nothing back at all.
And then ultimately after that, the police handled everything moving forward.
Yes, ma'am. They took me over, sat me down, and did a test, the GR, the test for gunpowder residue or anything on my hands, and there was none whatsoever.
You have half an hour, Mr. Agnew.
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court, Ms. Willis, Mr. Reinhardt. On February 4th of this year, we had a 17-year-old girl and we had an 18-year-old boy. And what they wanted was to be an adult. They wanted to be grown up. What they found out very quick after that is sometimes it's best not to get what you want, because they realized that they weren't prepared to be adults at that point. One of the things I want y'all to do when you go back there and you go over all the text messages and Instagram messages and all those messages is look, I'm not saying that it was right, but they hated her. They absolutely hated her, and they hated living with her. I mean, again, I'm not trying to say that she was a bad person. I don't mean that at all. She's obviously a good person. She took in her 17-year-old, much younger than that, daughter. But Tara obviously had to have some problems in her family to end up having to live with Grandma. And Grandma was gracious enough to take her in. And she ends up being repaid in a horrible fashion. But the thing is they thought that they were ready to be adults. And if you read the messages, they had a lot of hatred towards her. And they sort of fed each other. They fed the monster, and they went after her. But if you also look at their messages, and you look at the videos, they had access to all that stuff before this ever happened. And they did. They had access to the guns. Why else would there be a gun behind the couch? It wasn't in the safe. It was out. They had access to the codes. And they could say, well, it was on a piece of paper, you know, in a dresser or whatever, but they had access to that. They did from the word go. There's a text, if y'all remember, or an Instagram message where they refer to, you know, about basically the fact that, you know, Grandma hasn't tried to tighten up the money thing yet. That she was still being very free with them with the money. I'm not asking y'all to find my client not guilty. I mean, I'm not asking you to do that at all. What I'm asking you to do is look at the facts. And I understand where they're coming from with the robbery and all that other stuff, but they actually did have access to all that stuff. They did all along. And they didn't kill her to take her stuff. And they didn't. The reason they killed her is because they were, in all honesty, they were incredibly naive. And they were also, if you remember, they were also using meth. And that has a tendency of doing very bad things to your brain. It's not an excuse, but it does bad things to your brain. But they weren't killing her to rob her. They were killing her because they wanted to be adults. And think in terms of what Tara said when they were talking about, because they were talking about killing her. There's messages all over the place. You know, y'all saw them, I saw them. They were all there. But what did Tara say was one of the things that she wanted to take with her? her stuffed animals. She wanted to take her stuffed animals. What did she not take with her? Her stuffed animals. She realized very quickly, as they both did, they were not prepared for this life. They couldn't drive. They didn't have jobs. They had nowhere to live. They had to depend on other people to come get them. They depend on other people to get rid of stuff. They made a decision that not only ended one life, but effectively ended three, because they were not prepared for the situation that they put themselves into. And no matter what y'all do, their lives are over. And it's by their own hands. I'm not going to try and excuse that. Their lives are over. It's just going to be a matter of how. How over are their lives? And that's the decision that y'all have to make when you get back there. Like I said, you're talking about an 18-year-old kid. He was less than a month being 18 years old. And he made the absolute worst decision he could possibly make. And I'm not trying to excuse him. And I'm telling you that right now. I'm not asking you to find him not guilty at all. What I'm asking you to do is to go back there and find him guilty of murder. Because like I said, from the word go, they had access to all this stuff. I mean, Grandma's 62 years old. I'm sure she ran a pretty loose ship as a parent, because that's not a grandma's job. Grandma's there to be fun. They're supposed to be fun. That's why most everybody loves their grandmothers. And moms are supposed to be a little bit more stern. And she had to go from being grandma to mom at an older age than I think most people want to do that. And Tara didn't like it, and Uriah didn't like it. Not saying that what they did was right. It's not right at all. What they did was horrible. But I think at this point, when you look at it, to say that they killed her to take her stuff is wrong. They killed her because they wanted to be adults. They wanted to be on their own, and immediately learned they weren't prepared for it. And they weren't. They learned real fast. Sometimes it's best not to get what you wish for. And the thing is they're going to have to live with that for the rest of their lives. I know this has been a really, really long week. And I apologize to y'all for that. This has been a long week for all of us. I appreciate every single bit of attention that y'all have given to all of us during this process. And I mean that in all sincerity. But when you go back there, I'm asking you to please find him guilty of murder and not the capital murder. Thank you very much for your attention, and I look forward to your verdict.
Ms. Willis, you have 26 minutes remaining.
Yes, Your Honor. May I utilize the override?
Yes.
They killed her because they wanted to be adults. If she comes in, I'll kill her. Can I kill her at 4? I have an inch of hundreds. I'm going to kill her. On and on and on and on and on. Mr. Agnew just said that they killed her because they wanted to be adults. They didn't kill her to rob her. Don't take my word for it. Take Uriah's. I go in, threaten to get any and every phone. He did that. Tell her to move, grab the key ring out of her room, tell her to open everything I haven't. We know those safes are open. He's admitting he'd already opened some. Kill her when done, get someone to drive the Ford. They killed her, and they got a ride.
matter. So I'm going to ask you to please stand. So, Mr. Urick, you came before this court and a jury and entered a plea of not guilty to the offense of capital murder. The evidence was presented to the jury. A jury was charged, and after deliberating, the jury returned a verdict finding you guilty of the offense of capital murder. Is there any legal reason why sentence should not now be pronounced against you? Any legal reason? Right. Having no legal reason, I see you shaking your head no, and that's correct. There's no legal reason, correct?
Correct.
All right. It is the order of this court that you, Mr. Urick, who have been adjudged guilty of the offense of capital murder, and whose punishment is assessed at life in prison, that you be delivered to the sheriff of the Galveston County Jail, who will then place you with the director of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institution Division, where you'll be confined for the rest of your life in accordance with the laws governing the Department of Criminal Justice Institution. So you are now remanded to the custody of the Galveston County Sheriff, who will remand you to the custody of Texas Department of Criminal Justice. And any time you have will also be given to you. It appears that you have 272 days credit. That credit will be given. There's also going to be an entry of a finding of a deadly weapon, namely a firearm. Because you are indigent, I will waive your court costs. And because this is a plea bargain, because this is not a plea bargain, you do have the right of appeal. And I will take notice of the fact that you have indeed filed a notice of appeal, and the court will appoint an appellate attorney to help you. Anything further for the record? Okay.
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
And we do have a dismissal for the credit card.
That is correct, Your Honor. I will say, Your Honor, the discovery receipt is still loading to be printed, and I will give that to the court as soon as it is done printing.
Okay. Anything further for the record?
No.
Okay. The proceedings are concluded and the court stands in recess. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Here you go, Swain. You go.